All right, we made it through. This is video 5 out of 5. If you made it this far, congratulations. I am super proud of you, and you should be proud of you too, because so many people say that they want to grow a real business online, and then they don't put in the work to learn what they need to do in order to have a successful business. And you're not one of those people. You're actually taking action, and I love action takers. So bravo for being here. I'm super excited to be talking to you in this last and final video out of my 5-part series, How to 10X Your Handmade Product Sales Online in Just 15 Minutes a Day. And today we are going to talk about the 8 posts. How do I have it said here? 8 posts that make sales. There we go. 8 posts that make sales. So you've heard me talk about through this entire series that you need to make engaging posts, posts that make people lean into you, posts that make people practically beg to buy what it is that you sell. So today I'm going to share with you 8 posting categories. So these are 8 different types of posts. I'm going to give an example of each one as I talk through them. So these are 8 posts that you can actually start making on your page starting today. You can actually start doing this today. So let's just jump into it. Let me say this before we jump into it. I do want to point out that I don't want you to hear me say one type of post and you go out into your page and you repeat that post over and over and over again. It's really vitally important that you have a mix of posts on your page. Your post should not be one note. It needs to be more like a roller coaster where it's up and down and curved and all around, that your followers never know what's coming next from you. And each post is designed to do something a little bit different on your page. Talk to people a different way, talk to different people. And if you just pick one of these or one category and say, oh, I'm just going to do that from now on, then you're actually missing the boat. The idea is we need a good mix of these. And this is exactly what I do in my Prompts for Profits calendar that I offer to my Handmade Sellers Club members, or that they get as part of their membership. And this is a monthly calendar where we take these 8 prompts and actually put them in a mix together. So you automatically have the roller coaster is built into the calendar itself. And it also makes it so you're never sitting there staring at your computer screen thinking, what should I be posting today? I don't know what to say. What did I post last week and yesterday? And how do I make sure that I'm not repeating myself over and over again and accidentally making the same kind of post? That's why you need a calendar like that. So in the Prompts for Profits calendar, I use these 8 post types. So let's go through them now. Number 1 is product focus. And this is what most people think about when they're thinking about selling their product. They're like, oh, I just want to show everybody my product. I've got a window popping up there. I want to show everybody my product. Well, we're going to product focus in a little bit different way than what you're used to. So instead of saying, come buy the product, we're just going to inform people things about our product. And one of the best ways I love doing this is posting a sold item. When you have a picture, a beautiful picture of your product, and you mark it as sold, a couple of things happen. One, you get to display the product and say, wow, look at this amazing thing that I made. Now you may think, well, if it's sold, why am I putting that? Nobody can buy it. The reason why you put it there is it's a great example of a type of product that you can and do make, right? But you're also showing to everybody, not only are they looking at the product, but they're seeing other people are buying your products. They're seeing, hey, I saw that product before and I didn't get it. And now somebody else bought it and now I can't have it. That does a lot to getting people to lean into you and actually like, hey, what do you got next? What do you got next? And it makes them actually take action faster to purchase your product. So we do a lot of different product focuses in the Prompts for Profits calendar, but that's probably one of my favorites because not only is it displaying the product, but it's making them lean in and want more from you, and take action faster, which means they spend money faster and easier. All right, number 2 is a customer focus, really focusing in on your customers. And a lot of people do this and just sharing testimonials, but there's so much more you can do with this when you talk about your customers. And one is just sharing a heartwarming customer story. Instead of taking their testimonial and pasting it, listen to what they're actually saying and look at the problem that you solved for them, or the way that you were able to brighten up their day, or they gave it as a gift and it brightened up that person's day. And talk about what that means to you as a business owner. Rather than just saying their words, express why that touched you so much and why that is so meaningful to you, and thank them in the post itself. Number one, they're going to love that they got that little bit of feature there in the post. And number two, it's more interactive. It's more vibrant than just posting a plain testimonial. There's a place for that as well, but I love telling the actual stories. Interactions you've had with people at vendor events, interactions you've had with people over Messenger, stories that they've told you, relay those stories. Number three is behind the scenes. People are voyeuristic. They like to kind of see the things that they aren't supposed to see. And showing behind the scenes, and especially if they already love your product and think you're really cool, behind the scenes is just this thing that like tickles their brain. They're like, oh, look at this. Like I'm looking at this person's workshop or whatever it is. One of the behind the scenes I really like is sharing your tools. A picture of the tools that you use and why you use those tools and what you love about those tools. It brings people into your world. It allows them to live vicariously through you, and they get a much deeper connection with you and much deeper understanding of your business. And it just makes them more likely to do business with you in the future because they know you more. That takes us to our next one, which is the know, like, and trust. Maybe you've heard this before, maybe not. This is a common business saying that you have to build know, like, trust. People also call it KLT, know, like, trust. So know, like, trust is allowing them to get to know you as a person a bit more than just your products. With handmade products and e-commerce in general, but handmade products more specifically, we aren't solving world hunger here. We aren't giving somebody something that they absolutely need. We're selling them things that they want. And people buy what they want, but they also buy from people that they like. So many times people will buy simply because they like you. Now you might think, well, I don't know if I'm likable. You are. To the right customer, you are exactly right. I've seen people with all sorts of personalities present themselves on Facebook and get people to get to know them. And people are always they can always find their people that are gravitated towards that. Like, I like you. I think what you're doing is awesome. Makes it more likely that they are going to refer you to their friends and family, makes it more likely that they're going to buy, and it makes them stick with you month after month, year after year, because they like you as a person. So when it comes time to buy a birthday gift, who are they going to think about? The person that they know versus going out to Etsy and doing a search for something. So know, like, trust could be something as simple as like, what got you started? Why did you start your business in the first place? Most people have a pretty good story about that. Even if it's like, I wanted to be home with my kids. I wanted more freedom in my life. I wanted that flexibility in my schedule. I've always been crafty and working with my hands. And, I was tired of the 9 to 5. And so I thought, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this thing that fulfills me as a person and brings in income. And every day I love it. And it's just the absolute best thing I've ever done. So that's one example of building that know, like, trust. So they get to know you a bit more as a person and less so as a business. Let Walmart be a business, right? Our advantage as small sellers is that we can connect with people on a personal level. It's not unprofessional. It's good business. And it's more fun. It's more fun. Your followers are having more fun. You'll have more fun. Everything is just going to be on a lighter, less serious note. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing. The world's too serious. All right, the next is information. So people do need information in order to make a decision to buy. They may wonder whether or not you sell or you ship. They may not know how to use your product. I can't tell you how many times I have talked with a business owner in general where I am in my head thinking, this isn't for me, this isn't for me, this isn't for me. And then they say one thing, oh, and you can also use it to blank. And I'm like, oh, this is totally for me. So people need information. They do need that bit more serious side of your business where you're telling them about your product. So a good way to do this is answering frequently asked questions. So if you get a question, if you have questions that you get over and over and over again, address them in a post. because the odds are there's a bunch of people that have that question that haven't gotten up the nerve yet to ask. And so when you pose it as an FAQ, like, I get this question all the time. I thought some of you guys might have the same question. Here's the question and here's the answer. Again, you're getting people to lean into you and say, oh yeah, I was wondering that too. Like, I'm so glad that you addressed that because that's something that I needed to know. You're going to get less engagement on posts like this, but more people are going to see it because of the other engaging posts. And the right people that need that information are going to, even if they don't take action that minute, that's something that gets filed away and gets added to their awareness about your product and what it is you offer. It makes it much more likely that they're going to pull the trigger and buy on other posts. And sometimes even from the FAQ, I've had a few clients come to me and say, I never expect anything from the FAQ, and it constantly surprises me. Like, people will say, oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, I'm ready to buy right now. So the FAQ, while and information posts in general, while usually not as highly engaging, they're super important for making those sales. Next, we have affinity. So affinity, I want you to think about, like, what is it your customers have in common? What are they passionate about? So for me, with my rabbit toy business, people are passionate not about my rabbit toys, but about rabbits. So we'll actually make posts about rabbits. We'll say things like, raise your hand if you love your rabbit, or something to that effect. Some people are obsessed with jewelry. Some people are obsessed with tie-dye. So we actually have a prompt where it's like, blank is like ice cream. There's always room for more. And that's feeding into somebody's affinity. So if somebody is like obsessed with tie-dye, we're looking for that, like, obsession. That's what an affinity is. What is their obsession? They're obsessed with tie-dye, and you say something like, tie-dye is like ice cream. There's always room for more. They're like, yes, I always want more tie-dye. There's never enough tie-dye. And we're feeding into that part of them, that obsession that they have. And we're saying, yeah, we know you love it. How much do you love it? We know you love it. And they're like, yes, I love it. And it gets them to engage more and to look at you as the source of that thing. So for me, with my rabbit business, I would say bunnies are like potato chips. You can't have just one. And they would love that. They would absolutely love that. They would lean into that and say, yes, this company gets me. They understand. That's what an affinity post is. Next, we have probably everybody's favorite, which is engagement games. Engagement games are literally posts that are designed to get people to say something in the comments or react to the post in some way. So while the other posts will encourage engagement, like you tell your story and they're like, oh my gosh, I love that so much, there's not really a call to action for them to comment in the comments. With engagement games, there is a clear call to action. And one example of this is posting a fantastic photo of your product and saying, on a scale of 1 to 10, what do you think of this color? Or what do you think of this new bracelet I made? What do you think of this new soap I just created? Scale of 1 to 10, what do you think about? And, say what the product is. And people love this because people love giving their opinion. So you are asking their opinion and what they think and how they rate that particular product. And what happens with engagement games and why I love them so much, they do two things. One, they get that engagement going, so the algorithm is getting fed. The algorithm is like, oh yeah, people are like going nuts over here on this page with this particular post, and it gets sent out to a lot of people. The other reason why engagement games are great is often people will say, that's a 10. Is it for sale? Getting them to just start typing and confirming to themselves that they really like it opens up that door for them to continue and say, is that for sale? How can I get one? Now, not every comment is that, but it opens up the door. Now, the temptation is I'm going to go just do engagement games 24/7 and I'll make lots of sales. It doesn't really work that way. If all you do is engagement games on your page, you're going to wear your followers out. So again, in the Prompts for Profits calendar, we actually weave the engagement games in. So we'll do an engagement game and then we'll give them a bit of information. Then we'll tell a story and then we'll do an engagement game. And we're doing all of this and we're keeping people on their toes and giving them everything they need in order to make a buying decision. And then finally, we have the fluff stuff, doing little memes, having fun and doing like a what's your leprechaun name. That doesn't hurt now and again. Every once in a while, we'll say, okay, go ahead and do a fluff post. Here's a fluff post that you can do that is simply you having fun with your followers and is not intended to sell any products. That is important to really create that camaraderie and not make it always about your products. But when I say rare, these should be at most once a month, no more than once a month, some sort of fluff post that is just pure sugar fun. Anything more than that, and you're going to lose them. So that's it. Those are the 8 posts you should be making to your page if you want to make more sales. Remember, you have to have the mix. And every one of these examples I gave you is just one example in each of those categories so that you can, if you do scale of 1 to 10 every 8 days, it's going to get boring after a while. We have a whole list of engagement games you can play. We have a whole list of customer focus, product focus, know, like, trust. We show you exactly what you need to be posting on your page to keep it fresh and interesting all the time with our Prompts for Profits calendar. And that's why we did it, is because we want to make sure that you are always keeping your people engaged and not getting into a rut yourself. If you want more information about the Prompts for Profits calendar, just let us know. You can reply to the email that you got this, or comment below if you're seeing this on Facebook. If you want the Prompts for Profits calendar and become a Handmade Sellers Club member, just let us know and we'll give you the information on how you can become a member today. All right. Thank you for sticking with me for these 5 videos. Congratulations again. Now let's go out there and make some sales.